background, that's Gator. He's very sleepy. He's very angry. Today is the first episode of a new series I'm starting called the ASMR Club. Basically, it's going to be a series where I do ASMR movie reactions, ASMR movie reviews, and top 10 lists, stuff like that. So I'm very excited to get started. Since we are talking about movies, what better way than to bring some popcorn sounds to the mix? And for the first video, since it is award season, we're gonna have a little bit of our own award ceremony with my personal top 10 films of 2023. Now, this is my personal list. If you don't agree, that's okay. I don't expect you to. It's personal to me. But feel free to put your top 10, top 3, whatever you want in the comments. I'd love to see it. As you guys know, I'm a huge movie buff. So, I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. But, to start off, we're gonna do a 2023 movie Wrapped. I watched in total last year 123 films. That's kind of crazy. It was a New Year's goal of mine last year to watch more movies. And since I have a letterboxd account, I've been keeping track of which movies I've watched, when, what I thought about them, my rankings. So, yeah, 123 films. 32 of those films were released that year, which means 3 of them were on streaming services only, exclusive to streaming services, and 29 of them I saw in theaters. So, I think shockingly, my top 10 list only is theater releases. Unfortunately, none of the stream releases made it onto my list. But that's okay. Maybe they'll come back in 2024, put out some good content. But okay. Here we go. We got the popcorn in my Hunger Games tin from this year's release, or last year. Let's talk about it. Grab popcorn. Let's talk. Alright, number 10. We have Theater Camp. Theater Camp. Alright, this movie, y'all. It shocked me. It really did. I think this wouldn't be on most people's list. But, as you know, I have a background in theater and acting. So I got the references. I got the jokes, the stereotypes, the humor. I was the target audience for this film. So I loved it. It was funny. It was fresh. It's filmed in kind of like how The Office is filmed. Documentary style. It's so good. I loved it. The first act or two, a little iffy, I will say, but that third act wraps it all together, and it's awesome. So definitely go watch it. I recommend it. Even if you're not like a theater kid, you was so excited. And it delivered, y'all. It fucking delivered. Oh my gosh. That movie was perfect. It's number 9 on the list because, of course, there were better films. But it was definitely one of my favorites. I loved the New York setting. I love the Core 4, which if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. Start with the first one. Watch the whole franchise. They're all so good. But, I don't know. It was the first one without Sidney Prescott. But Jenna Ortega, I love her. She delivered. So, Scream 6 is in the number 9 spot. I loved that, I won't spoil too much. That ladder sequence gave me chills. I think about it a lot. The apartment attack scene, crazy. I think, yes, the reveals could have been a little bit better, but personally, I loved it. Okay, number 8, we have Talk to Me. Now, okay, this movie was great. I love A24. A24 never fails in my eyes. However, people were saying, leading up to me seeing it, that this film was revolutionary. They'd never seen anything like it. I don't know about that. I feel like the idea was cool, but it seemed done before. However, it was still a killer movie. The ending, man, gave me chills. Gave me chills. I loved it. That scene, like the montage of all the teens playing with the hand. Dude, that scene was awesome. It was such a good movie, and I hid my eyes in theaters. I don't do that too often, where I have to peek. I'm not ashamed to say, it made me scared. I was freaked out, but it was a great movie. Definitely deserved its hype. Alright, number 7. Now before I talk about this movie, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of the franchise, so it's shocking how entertaining I thought this movie was. And I also have to say, if there's one thing I am not, it's a fan of action films. Let that be known. When I say number 7, Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, I think it's called. Dude. So, my boyfriend is a huge Transformers geek. So, I've watched like the first 3 before we went to go see that one. It was awesome. It was entertaining. It was funny. I believe it's a prequel. I think it takes place before all of the other films. It delivered. I don't know. I felt like it was the best one I've ever seen. If you're a Transformers fan and you disagree, don't attack me. I don't fully know what I'm talking about. I haven't seen the whole franchise. But that movie, it was action-packed. And I usually get bored with action. I don't know. Explosions, bombs, guns. They don't really do it for me. That movie did it for me. It was awesome. So if you're not a Transformers fan, take my word for it. It's good. I don't want to say too much about it, but I loved it. Okay. 6 has a tie. I couldn't pick which one was on the list. And I didn't want to bump any of them off the list. So we have 2 tied for the 6th place spot. Very different films, both comedic, but different. One has a more comfy 90s feel to it, and the other one has a chaotic, hysterical plot. So, those are The Holdovers and No Hard Feelings. Man, we'll talk about The Holdovers first because I've talked a little bit about it in other videos. It's comfy, it's cozy, it's heartwarming, it's a little emotional, but it has that Dead Poets Society feel. It won a couple of Golden Globes for the actors. It was awesome. It just felt nostalgic. You don't get movies like that much anymore. I don't know. It was such a good, comforting movie with a great ending, a satisfying ending. And then let's talk about No Hard Feelings. Dude, Jennifer Lawrence will always be that bitch. I admire Jennifer Lawrence and everything she touches. She's probably my favorite actress of all time. This movie, it was funny. Andrew Barr Feldman plays the love interest to Jennifer Lawrence. Their chemistry, phenomenal. Both hysterical. The plot, I thought would be creepy. They managed to make it not creepy. It was so well done. And it's one of those movies I genuinely think I will rewatch this year. Just because of how funny it was. Comedies, specifically rom-coms, are back in business. And I couldn't be more happy about it. So those are my number 6 movies. Number 5. Saw X. The 10th installment to the Saw franchise. And you would think, 10th movie, dude. How good can it be? It's gotta be pretty boring, right? No. Wrong. Holy shit. I have never sweated, been fidgeting in my chair so much. I've never been so uncomfortable and on the edge of my seat that I had to look up the ending in the theater while the movie was still rolling. I was respectful. No one was around me. But I couldn't take it. I had to look up if a certain character lived or died. And that's what the Saw franchise continues to do. Make you sweat, make you want to look away, make you so anxious, even if they're bad people. You're rooting for them because the situations they are in are so inhumane that you wouldn't wish it upon your worst enemy. At least I hope you wouldn't. This movie, man, holy crap. And there's a plot twist in there. And it made you look at the main character, who is Jigsaw, in a whole new light. You're almost rooting for him while simultaneously rooting against him. I thought that was great. I can't think of many films that have made me root me say again, I'm not the biggest fan of this company. I'm not the biggest fan. I like their movies. I haven't seen every single one. I am in no way the biggest Marvel fan. But Guardians of the Galaxy has always been my favorite in the MCU. I like the music, of course. It's awesome. But I loved the comedy and the characters and the planets. I loved it all. So Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is my number 4. Dude, that movie broke my heart. But also had me boogieing. Oh my god. Their soundtracks never fail. They go so hard. But if Mantis wasn't my favorite character, it would be Rocket. So, I won't spoil it, but this movie tugged at my heartstrings, dude. It's my favorite of the 3. I love it. I love the ending. I loved, the flashback scenes. Heart-wrenching. The, unexpectedness at the end of the film with a certain guardian passing away. You guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Dude, I was like, you're joking. This can't be happening right now. But it all worked out. I loved it. Alright. The big 3. Here we go. In 3rd place, Barbie. I mean, dude, you all have heard about Barbie already. It deserved all of its hype. It was just a fun movie. It was great. I think it was perfectly made for this generation. And I think it needed to be made. And I think it had, the perfect mix of fun and message. And they hit the hammer on the nail, whatever the fucking term is. It's not a movie for women. It's a movie for everyone. If not men. To better understand women and what they go through. I could talk about that movie for ages. It was so well done. Margot Robbie is perfect. But also so real and relatable. And I just respect her and Greta Gerwig, the director, so much. And Ryan Gosling. He's funny. He's awesome. He killed it as Ken. I loved it so much. Not to mention another film with a killer soundtrack. Dua Lipa, Lizzo, Billie Eilish, Ava Max. I mean, it can't get much better than that. It's just such a fun film with a beautiful message for everyone. So, Barbie, 3rd place. Alright, 2nd place. This one came out of nowhere. I went to go see it with my family because they wanted to see it, and I was like, I'll tag along. The Boys in the Boat if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's so perfect. Every actor plays their role perfectly. The cinematography is just exceptional. It's a feel-good film without doing too much, staying true to like the historical events, and it's not even too predictable. It's just definitely one of my favorite films. Now, I loved it. It deserves to be talked about way more. Callum Turner deserves awards for that film. All the boys do. Not to mention the physical training that those boys probably had to do. Insane. If you're out there and you're on a row team, man, I applaud you and your effort. Okay, number one film. I feel like you guys already know what I'm gonna say if you've watched my videos, and that is Saltburn. Salt. Burn. Barry Cogan, man. What? Sick son of a bitch. So talented. Him and Jacob Elordi's chemistry in that film. So good. The cinematography. Beautiful. The plot. Insane. The ending. Even more insane. The discomfort I felt watching that movie. I've never felt anything like it. And some people say, you think that was bad? You need to watch more films. Shut up. No, dude. Nothing about that movie was comfortable. From the beginning to the end, something was always there that made you feel uneasy. And when you finish the film and you watch it again, you know why. And you see it and you're like, oh, but that plot twist, that's a film. Just like, there's Percy, just like Bodies, 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 where I show it to everybody now. And I'm not even watching the movie. I'm watching their reaction because I need to see what they think, how they react, what they're feeling. It's so well done. I loved it. Rosamund Pike is so perfect in her role. It's great. That movie had me so uncomfortable in the best way. 10 out of 10. First place on my list. Okay. Now, we're going to wrap it up here in a bit. But we're going to talk about some runner-ups. Starting with Haunting in Venice with Tina Fey. Man, that movie was good. I liked it. I'm a slut for a murder mystery. But this one had some spooky, paranormal elements. I respect it entirely. It was so well done. Just, there were better films. The ending I had from like 30 minutes in, I was like, I know who the killer is. Evil Dead. The reason why it didn't make it on this list was because unnecessary, and I understand that is what Evil Dead is known for. Unnecessary amounts of gore. But I don't know, I wanted a little bit more from it. Not in the gore, just in plot. But it was great. A great film all around. From a horror fan perspective, it was awesome. The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I read the book before, which spoiled a lot of it. But even reading the book and going to see the movie, I was confused. And I knew everything. Something was wrong with the film. Something was missing. I don't know if it was in the acting or in the writing. Well, I can tell you what it is. Coriolanus Snow. When you read the book, you get his internal monologue, which makes the book so interesting. Because in these moments in the film where he looks like a good guy, those moments in the book, he's a horrible person because of his internal dialogue. So we didn't get that in the film, which I think penalized the film and the viewers. It was great. Rachel Zegler ate up those songs. Tom Blythe was a great Snow. Those Hunger Games were more brutal and intense than some of the other films, I feel. I don't know. Something about it was lacking and left me as a huge fan. I love the movie. I'm gonna buy it on DVD. But it left me wanting more. I don't know. It was good though. Some other ones. Thanksgiving. The new Scream of the generation. It was incredible. Asteroid City. I mean, gotta love it. It's so weird and wacky, but so well done and beautiful. Bottoms. Rachel Sennett, Ayo Adibri. Brilliant brains. Brilliant film. Just not nearly enough. I don't know. And then, Dungeons and Dragons. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. Maybe I'm just a geek. A lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. I can't wait for more films in that franchise. Because I know there will be more. Alright, let's talk real fast. Biggest flops and letdowns. Number 1. Super Mario Bros. Okay. I understand it was made for children. I'm not a child. Maybe that's where I didn't get it. Maybe it's a generational thing. Which is so crazy I'm saying that, because I'm 23. It was lacking. It wasn't funny. I was bored. I was confused on the plot for a big majority of it. All my friends were bored when we saw it. It just wasn't it. And I don't know how Peaches was nominated for Best Original Song before The Hunger Games. Someone explain that to me. I'm so confused. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's. That shit was garbage. The writing, the plot, the story, the acting. It needed a lot of work. It was pretty shit. The Little Mermaid. It pains me to say it. People need to start not hiring Lin-Manuel Miranda to write music for their films. It's not good. when he touches something, in my opinion. I loved Hamilton, but keep him on stage. Don't put him in films. I don't know. I know he's not in the film, but he wrote music for the film, and those songs took me out of the film. Halle Bailey, though, she killed it. She's the perfect Ariel. The Nun 2, garbage. I don't know what I was expecting, though, because the first Nun movie was garbage. Infinity Pool. What the fuck? That's all I can say. What the fuck was that movie? What happened? What was the point? I don't know. And last but not least, Beau is Afraid. Again. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? What was going on in that movie? So much was just left without being, wrapped up in the end. What was it about? What was it for? What was the point? There were some beautiful shots, and set design was awesome. But why? Did we need that? And especially, did we need what was in the attic? What the fuck was that about? Okay, I'm cursing too much, which means it's time to wrap up the video. Thank you for being here. Again, put your films in the comments. What you liked, what you hated, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. What movies did you see that I didn't talk about? But yeah, also leave some films that I should watch and review for the next episode of the ASMR Movie Club. Alright, thanks for being here, guys. I love this. I'm so excited. I hope it's well received. I hope there's an audience for people who like movies and ASMR. Maybe there won't be. I don't know. I hope so, though. Love you guys.